Welcome to the fourth episode of The Anatomy of the Owl. I'm Tobbs, aka Peanut. I am Gubs, aka Dandelion. And we are still trying to rank all 91 BLs that we've watched so far.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah. We're not even halfway.
We're not. But I think we got it. I think we made a good dent.
I think, yeah, it's a good dent, I would say. But yeah, the ones that are upcoming.
The upcoming ones, yeah, no, there's still quite a lot that we need to talk about. But today's episode, we're going to be dealing with the dramatic BLs and the industry call-outs.
Mm-hmm.
The first category is going to be the dramatic ones. By the way, I think I need to clarify this, but if we don't talk about a certain drama in a certain category, it's either we didn't watch it or it's in a later category that is more suitable for it.
Yeah, because sometimes a drama can, for example, be dramatic, but it's also something else. And it's fitting better for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't
be thinking that the ones that we're watching are completely niche ones. It's not.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's so coming. Like the next categories to come. The next categories to come are insane.
The popular, I think
the more popular ones are in the later categories. They're not ones.
The first ones just spoken about are not that well known. Probably the most popular thing is history, which we did in episode 2.
Also, Cherry Magic. A lot of people actually really like Cherry Magic. I've seen.
Sure.
And a bunch of other, you know which ones are popular, which ones are not.
It's fine. We don't have to go to an episode 4. Go watch the other episodes as well.
Don't hesitate.
Cool.
We're also on multiple social medias. We'll see this at the end of the
time. Okay, so to kick off our dramatic drama category, we'll start with We Best Love.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Taiwan.
A fan thing. I think a lot of people know We Best Love. It's quite popular.
It's quite popular. I've seen a lot of people make edits and stuff as well.
Yeah. And it's ranked really high. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give it synopsis. So I really hope this is We Best Love. What the fuck did I click? Yeah. Okay. It is not a simple thing to like someone, because many times we dare not say, if first place is the only way to make you see me, then I will never lose to you before you fall in love with me. Right? Oh my god. These names are the hardest.
Let me think.
When it's a Z8.
Oh, it's Joe. Joshi. Okay. Joshi stared at the class report and saw Kao Shi-de's name above again. He didn't understand. He had always ranked second ever since Kao Shi-de came into his life. For this reason, he was excited to go to college and parted ways. He had hoped to never see Kao Shi-de again. In college, he joined the swimming club and was revered by everyone. He was simply enjoying college life until Kao Shi-de suddenly appeared at the swimming competition during their senior year. This made him wonder why Kao Shi-de always followed him wherever he went. But little did he know that Kao Shi-de had eyes for him and will never let him go.
I'm sorry, but if I had a rival like this little pussy, like you in love with me, and then so for me to continuously notice you beat me in everything I've ever done,
I will kill you.
I will kill you. Like I can't win in academics, in sports, in relationships, in friendships. Like you've just beat me, and it's all because you want me to see you. Like I see you. Look, after all of that, I feel like after I've seen you now, you should approach me. Backing off when you're approaching me, you can't just be there.
Me exactly. You can't just consistently be like, I beat you in everything up until why can't you just get the chutzpah to come talk to me? Talk to me directly. Talk to me. You've proven yourself to be good enough for me anyway. You the shit. You the shit number one. Everybody likes you. Everybody thinks you're the most handsome. about me.
I just love I thought in the first episode, like this guy transferred and get here to school, and he was like, no,
There's no way.
because he had a whole plan in his head that senior year I'm gonna be the top student, top in like
I've been top in everything ever since I came to university because I avoided that motherfucker from high school. I made it exactly.
only for him to come and join me, and then be number one again. And it's like,
And he's in my faculty. He's doing my same degree. Like,
he's just in my face.
he's just in my face all over again. And I already have trauma associated with you. But
I know, you ruined my childhood.
you ruined my childhood. You knew I was competitive.
And then,
You knew.
yeah. Obviously an enemy to lovers. Because like, and that's as we have justified right now, our, what?
Kaushide or...
Kaushide. No.
Joe?
Joe?
Joe? Shree. Yeah. Just say Shree.
Shri.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not thinking what I want to say.
Think in reverse. Think in reverse.
Okay, his name is Shri. Right. No, I'm lost.
You knew something about as much as we know that this person was.
I'm lost. I'm gonna have to leave this thought. Yeah, we're gonna have to go into something else, and I'll call back to it when I remember. Basically, the enemies to lovers. Shri in particular being disliking. She did very much. Because it's like, dude, you literally you live to make my life miserable. These four places, like, I'm just trying to thrive, and you come in and beat me. Like, come on, please. So they these, and what actually got them to be? What got them to speaking to one another? Like,
I think it was mainly of confrontation. It's because when he joined the swimming club, and Shide was like, "What are you doing? Like, wait, like you keep being everywhere." And then the friends were the ones who like tried to like keep them apart for a while. I think at some point they even had to do a project together, and that's what got them
to talking.
Yeah, to actually start like, you know, interacting on a deeper level.
Because they're quite similar. They're similar people. It's just that they never got to be friends or interact much with one another because the other just has a large dislike for him. It's like, no. Yeah, like, I'm a very competitive person. And then here you are, constantly competing with me and beating me. It's not even that, like, I think I would also be salty. Like, we're constantly competing and I've never won once against you. So another thing is that, Shui had a crush, I believe, on this one girl. I think he had a crush on her back in as well.
He had a crush, I think. And she was interested in Shide instead.
And that was just another layer of, like, dislike. I'm gonna end this man's career. Because he was also like, I think he did some petty stuff. Like, he did petty pranks.
There are a lot of petty things.
A lot of petty things that he did. But he's a very, like, he's petty. He's just a petty person in general.
If Petty was a person, it would be Shui. Like, Shui was, guys. Even with his friends, he got his friends to help, like, sabotage. Yeah, he was like Shide's thing.
It was pettiness.
It was still, he's so petty.
Shide just existed and was like,
bro, Shide, like, why?
Can I talk about Shide's cousin? Cousin or whatever the hell he was to him?
Oh yeah. His cousin. That weirdo.
First of all, he worked at the school. I think he was a nurse.
Yeah.
School. I don't like when people do these weird tests on people.
Where do you get all?
Who are you?
Like, it's not your relationship. If there's anybody who's going to be testing anybody, it should be me.
Not you. Your test is also weird. Don't do this thing where you make him think that there might be something going on between us. No,
bro.
Don't do that, bro. Just because you have issues with your own, and he had his own relationship issues.
So he was like, no, I'm gonna like test this for you. Like, no, where do you get all?
Things more difficult for me. I just want to be with him. I've been in love with this guy forever.
Stop trying to make it harder for me.
I've been liking him for a long time, and I literally came in my final year of university so I can be I can
be as close to him as possible.
And then I get here, and what do? You do this nonsense where you make it like it's just so.
Bro, he peeved me as well, because I'm just like, like generally, I'm already against like people testing each other in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, don't test your partner unless you wanna find out. Like,
Yeah, unless you want the answer.
fuck around and you'll find out. But generally, I feel like that. But like, when now you're not even the person, the other party in the relationship, it makes it worse because like, where do you get off?
It's just stupid. And the tests that they do are things that like I would have found out while in the relationship. I would have found out on my. It's always tests where I'm like, no, what's the point of this test? Like I would have found out. It's like something that would have happened naturally.
Yeah.
Why are you now inserting your own thing? Like we haven't even started dating, but we can't because he thinks that you and I are dating and you're my cousin.
And you've like basically fucking my chances up because now he's thinking that whenever I'm going after him, that I'm cheating on my boyfriend. So stupid. Like, what are you? Oh my god.
The logic wasn't logic.
The math is not mathing.
The math was not mathing there. Other than that, they're a very cute couple. They're the kind of couple. They are the definition of when it's bad,
It's really bad.
but when it's cute,
It's amazing.
like literally, like you go through another chance of why are you so petty? She like, not that petty. But then when
She is pettiness guy.
together, you're like, it's like the cutest shit ever. Like,
Dude.
anyways, all was going well. Right, they finally get together.
Yeah.
All is going well and everything, only for there to Taiwan, only for there to be like this thing that happens, which is Shide having to move to the United States because his mother
Married an American man.
married an American man and she's moving there. So she's like, okay, I'll come with you to help you stay up over there, and then I'll come
Help
back
you
to my
adjust.
yeah, help you adjust because you're going on your own, which I remember was very sweet.
Same.
But like life sometimes.
Yeah.
The mom fell sick and he had to stay there longer. Like just circumstances.
Circumstanced.
Mm-hmm. I almost said circumstances.
Oh wow.
And he had to stay there longer.
I didn't even want that on the t-shirt now.
It's our first merch. Yeah, that happened, and because of that, they were separated. So they were initially supposed to be separated for a couple of weeks, a couple of months.
Yeah.
This turned into a year.
I think it was 2 years.
2 years of them being separated from one another, and that's when the shenanigans started to ensue. And this is still season 1. I'm still talking about
This is still season 1. Because season 2 picks up on after they reunited. But season 1 has like an extra episode where Shui basically like goes, because at some point they lose contact. They don't even know why. So Shui is like, okay, no, I'm gonna go to the US because Shui is rich. Shui comes from like a very like money bags family, right? Shide is the one who's not so rich, but Shui has a lot of money. So he's like, no, I'm gonna go see him because he's not replying. I'm worried. I don't know what's going on. And he sees Shide in the park with this woman, and she's feeding him brownies. Like he's holding a baby. She's feeding him brownies and like wiping off like his face and stuff. So Shady's seeing the
Not just the face, it's the corner of the mouth.
That's true.
That, and then specifically, if I'm wiping off something out on your forehead or something, it's whatever, but the corner of the mouth is
a bit intimate. Like getting close into like very intimate space.
yeah.
So he sees this and he's like, oh fuck no. Goes back home.
He does not talk to him, does not do shit. He just spins around and he's like back on the plane.
He's like, he literally does not even go and confront him. He's like, oh my god, he's been gone for long enough that could be his child. Because the baby's still very, very young.
Yeah, actually, it's a baby.
It's a baby. So he's like, that could be his child. Oh my god. So he turns around, leaves, gets on a plane, comes back home, throws a fit. He's upset. He's angry. He tells the friends. Keep in mind, at this point, even though they like originally started out with separate friends and those friends were also enemies, they ended up like joining into one friendship group.
Yeah, when the two main pairs started going together, a friendship group came together.
So they end up like, fuck that, like they all like, oh fuck him, like how could he do this to you? So he's miserable, crying and home, and he's grieving, and that's how we end season 1.
and like I like, oh my god,
I remember watching this the first time and be like, "Are you kidding me?" Because I you watched it.
me.
We watched it before season 2 came out.
Yeah, no, we had to wait.
We had to wait.
We had to wait. I also think that like this movie was like we knew. I remember that's talking about our podcast. We knew we just waited.
Exactly.
I mean, having to come out because we literally. Because I remember we watched season 2 literally on campus together, and we just thought that's what that's. What is going on? Because we waited for season 2.
Yeah,
we're like binging this.
We're binging this together. Like no, like nothing's gonna stop us.
We had to have a because it ended so depressing. Like they were like, oh, dude, it was so cute. Like I said in the beginning, enemies to lovers. Once they were lovers, that shit was best cute.
So cute. Like you know, Shida and Shui, honestly, when they are a couple, they are one of the best couples. Like they
are we best love.
They best love. The we like literally they're like so. They communicate well. They don't have like, yes, they might have issues of like differences in ways of dealing with things, but even like they're not afraid of intimacy when they're together. Like when they're actually together, they are so honest with one another. They're so frank with one another. They have these like conversations. It's so good when it's good, but when it's bad, and it's bad. I especially think of it like a Shui is so petty.
He's so petty.
He's petty.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I love his pettiness, but my god, he is petty.
Shui, if I'm like honestly,
I think of like a rich boy who's like mostly gotten everything he like. He's like everything he ever wanted, he got. And he gets so petty if he doesn't get that one. Just I think we all know what image and that's Shui to a T.
To a T. Like he's so like he's petty to the point where I genuinely think out of all the BL characters ever, he's probably up there, if not number one. Because when he gets petty, he stops at nothing. He stops at nothing. He gets so blinded by his rage, that he genuinely stops at nothing. He's like, "Fuck you,
you bitch,
fuck you, I'm ruining you."
Shui, bitch. Best remember that.
If it's going to hurt me, you are going down with me. I don't give a shit. That is so petty. He's so petty. You're Shui. I remember even watching it the first time, just being like, "Wow, what a message!"
And he really his petty as a person, and he owns his pettiness.
And he owns it. He knows he's petty.
Everyone else also around him knows he's petty. They didn't get away with his pettiness.
Exactly.
I Shui.
Exactly.
That being said, where does she go?
I don't think I would change it though.
I like Weepest. Regardless of everything, I really liked it.
I really liked it as well. I don't think I would really change it. There's nothing that like sticks out to me that I'm like, that was so disgusting. No.
It's just that cousin.
It's just the cousin. Truly the cousin.
Weird.
He was a fucking and he was weird.
Do your job, you.
He is very weird.
I think I want to put it in superior because I want to put it in superior.
Not even like gonna think about a justification.
I'm not I want to put it in superior. Not perfect, but damn close.
That is true.
S tier superior.
Because even I honestly, I don't think that the cousin would be a storyline that I would change. It's just something that I don't like personally. Yeah, I wouldn't change that.
Yeah, I wouldn't change
it. Because I think everything was wrapped up pretty nicely. Even though it ended like on that note. Your season 1, yes, those.
Yeah. But when I say cliffhanger,
bro,
talking about.
Bro.
Oh, I was good.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. That's where we go. With Superior, with We Best Love. So now, moving on to season 2, We Best Love Fighting Mr. Second.
Yeah. So, well, the synopsis is pretty short. Okay, the sequel to We Best Love, number 1 for You, takes place 5 years after Shui, and Shide graduate from college. Their story will unfold as they juggle work responsibilities and the priorities of their personal lives.
Remember?
I didn't tell you this. the season started off on a banger.
Oh, sugar. The way it started, the way, like, y'all, yeah, nobody, like, nothing will mentally prepare you for the way that the season started. Even seeing the extra episode of Shide is going back home, finally, he finally gets the chance, and yo.
Basically, right, so she, first of all, she now works at this company.
Yeah.
That we mentioned before. She is rich.
Yeah, he's rich.
Rich, and his dad owns a shit ton of companies, including the one that she now works at. Like, he came to work at this, I forget what his job was. I think it was something in IT.
Something.
At some point, somebody hacked him.
Yeah.
So I think it's something in IT. And so Shida works there, and I think he's like a boss there, or a manager or something like that.
Yeah. And basically training to take over.
And then his father's company, which he now runs somewhat, is taking over this company.
Yeah.
He's not gonna, I don't think they're firing the company or whatever shit. He gets there, he walks into the room, sees Shide there, steps up to him, pulls his shoulder back, bro, and comes up with a he reels his arm back. Like, it is a full on. It's a full on. Listen, I don't know. Honestly, let me say this before you move on. I don't know if that slap was real when they shot it. I also don't know. But for God's sake, what? It was a slash. Like the way he snapped him back into last Tuesday. It's the kind of stuff where it vibrates a little. The chicks do a little jiggle. The facial expression he also had when he slapped him, pure hatred. You can see. Listen, I keep in mind they'd not seen each other for 5 years. Legitimately, 5 years. And the last time you saw him, he was sitting on a hill with a girl and a baby. Yeah. And he was like, you have the audacity to be standing here in front of me in the company that I'm about to take over, and you're greeting me like nothing. I think you on some good afternoon. I haven't seen you in so long. The fuck? She is so fucking petty, didn't even care about the employees around. He just tapped him in front of the entire company. The entire room stopped and froze. They were shook, bro. Everybody was like, what the fuck just happened? I would have been shook him anyway, working at that office. And you see up to us getting his ass. Yeah, ending up on TikTok. I've literally at least filming the aftermath. You're ending up on my TikTok. But that slaps at the tone for what is the season gonna become. Because she petty ass, angry ass, he was angry and he was ready to show it. He was like, I will ruin you. You broke my heart. I'm coming to make you miserable. Watch me, bitch. Legit. Watch me. He was like, you did that to me? You know what? You don't get to know peace for the rest of your life. You did that. You do not get to know peace for the rest of your life. Why did I kind of like it? You're the same. You're the same. You just don't have the resources to be able to do it. If I was rich, I would be exactly like dead ass. Like rich with my shitty boyfriend. I'm sorry, bro. I do not condone physical violence. I would just like to say that. Disclaimer. I'm also about physical violence. I'm talking about pettiness. Yeah. Pettiness. Being petty. Being petty is something that I would probably be if I were rich enough to be. I have to make a comment that the actor who acted as Shui. Alright. Acting skills. Whoa. 10 out of 10. He killed it. 10 out of 10. Actually, both the actors are amazing. The actors when you watch their, for example, live streams, and just out in the real world, man. You're like, you guys are playing those characters. Exactly. It was amazing. I think they did amazing. Because even
like we said before, with Yu's face, like when Shuri slapped Shide, yeah, that face, he would look terrifying.
I know he did.
He looked legitimately terrifying.
It looked like a person who was angry for 5 years.
Yes,
I've been building this anger for 5 years.
Anger from 5 years. This is anger. This is deep-seated hatred. This is deep-seated resentment. I do not fuck with you anymore. I want to kill you.
Because, okay, I need to run it back to season 1 just for a second.
Yeah.
In season 1, when they finally got together, it was she finally being vulnerable with Shide as well.
It was like Shide's not a vulnerable person.
He's not a vulnerable person. Shide was the first person to break that down.
Yeah.
And this is the first time he's in love. This is the first time he's like, okay, I'm opening myself up to this, like everything, only for him to be heartbroken in that manner, or what he perceived to be his heartbreak in that manner. So now when you show up 5 years later and I'm seeing you, I haven't spoken to you in all these years and I thought you betrayed me. Man's conveyed that fucking perfectly.
Bro,
the emotion was completely there. It felt like, yeah, then.
Because it's like, it's hurt, it's anger, it's feeling disrespected. All in one package.
Because he didn't expect to see him as well. Like,
exactly.
It was like a thing of like, he was like,
then I'm gonna see him. He wasn't.
Yeah, but like he wasn't. He walked in and he was like, that's not him. To test it out, I'm gonna slap his face.
Let's test it out. I slap him.
Fully out a little. Is it?
Exactly. Hand, face meet my hand.
So of course it results, because we said like he becomes petty again, and his whole thing is like, I'm gonna make your life miserable. It results in a lot of back and forth of just you back again with his pettiness of like, I'm gonna do this to you.
I'm gonna make your life harder. Even as we're trying to collaborate, I'm just gonna make it harder and just be difficult and all that. And then we finally find out what actually happened. Shuri not only finds out that, hey, this was his stepsister, right? And that was actually his little brother because his mom got pregnant again. But the reason why that Shuri, which is the whole reason why Shuri went to the US in the first place, and they lost contact, but the reason why Shide never was able to actually properly reach out after everything happened as well, was because Shuri's dad got in the way.
The good old tale.
The tale of the dad. Because Shuri and his dad have a really intimate bond. Shuri's dad does worry about Shuri. So he was just like, I'm gonna nip this in the bud. First of all, he doesn't have money. He can't take care of you.
Yeah.
Second of all, he's a man. So you're risking it all for this man who has nothing. You're not gaining anything. I'm gonna ruin this relationship.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not even gonna bother saying the stuff to Shuri himself because Shuri's gonna tell me, Dad, I love him. So he was like, I'm just gonna cut the source.
I'm gonna go to Shide directly. And Shide, because he's being considerate, and he's like, okay, I can't necessarily be responsible for my partner separating from his dad. I am going to take matters into my own hands, and I'm going to agree to his terms. Basically, which was that he has to separate from Shide for, I think, he's separate from Shuri for 5 years. And during that 5 years, he has to get his life together.
Basically, work your while.
Yeah.
Try to earn his strength. Yeah, literally.
Prove himself. Basically.
He's good enough for my son.
Basically. So, but as we come to learn, he actually broke that agreement. Because the agreement originally was, they separated 5 years total, right? But 2 out of that 5 years was just Shide in the US, right? 3 out of that 5 was them being separated because of the dad. So with the agreement with the dad, he didn't fulfill the full 5 years. So there's 2 years, but he technically broke the agreement. So the dad is like, he was never supposed to know, and kind of freaks out. His dad is very childlike. Actually,
you see where she got his personality.
Yeah. It's his dad. She and his dad are very alike.
Very alike. They're very alike. Adult. The other one is an older version.
Exactly. They're very alike.
Childish nonsense.
Exactly. Childish and petty. So that's when like we find out what happened. And I love this conversation from Shui where he was like, you like Shide, you have no right to make the decision for me. If my dad approached you, why didn't you come to me?
Literally.
Like, what the
Why are you and my dad talking about our relationship?
Exactly. Like, this is between you and I. Why was he taking priority over like me?
Yeah, what the hell? Like, and this was my same thing as well. I was team Shui. I was like, come on. Like, if there's no world in which someone who is not in my relationship can approach me and give me ultimatums about my relationship and I don't at least speak to my partner.
Exactly.
Like, why was that not the first step? Fine, you can want to do that. Fine, you think that dad is right because he or whatever she did felt like, okay, yeah, I'm not good enough for she. I also do want to build my wealth, build my connections.
But she gets to make that decision too.
Exactly. That's something you need to sit down with him and talk to him about and be like, this. And then she will be like, I don't give a fuck about that. Can we just date? Like,
exactly.
Build your wealth while we're together. I don't understand why you can't gain your wealth while you're being me. Like, why do I have to wait 5 years? Like I had a friend, she's anger so much. I was like, no, you and I in the relationship. You should have spoke to me first. You shouldn't have just taken my dad's thing and then whatever.
Went and ran with it.
Like, I've been heartbroken for 5 years.
5 years of being sitting here besmirching your name to our friends.
I know.
Besmirching your name to everybody who knows us mutually. I've been out here singing the pettiest party song. I've been doing the most. You let me breathe for 5 years.
You wouldn't talk to me.
Just because you wouldn't talk to me, you instead went and took it underneath your own authority. Which is like, ugh, come on.
Thank God, you made like talk about me. But anyway, when they finally had their conversation, they actually got together. And you just told his dad, shut the fuck up. Like that. Listen, I'm dating this guy. Like, I'm sorry. And the thing, like, the dad has no malice intent. Like, the dad wasn't like, I'm gonna disown you. The dad was just like, I just worry. Yeah, I just worry. But yeah, they finally got together. And like we said, when it's good, it's good.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
It's
so cute. So well together. You guys could have had this for those 5 years.
Bro. Oh, I think this, like, for me, this couple, the relationship and the way it is, makes all the bad worth it. That's the
yeah. And it kind of is that kind of couple where it's like, even though they were doing things that piss me off and things where I'm like, why would you do this? Them as a couple, you like,
they make it worth it.
You do make it worth it.
But yeah, side couples now. The one with the cousin.
It's very frustrating.
He's so frustrating because he has the best boy. He's so cute.
That boy is so adorable. And he did begging him to be together. And he just he just won't step out those box of like, no, I have no heart. He's the angsty guy. And I think he's the angst evil boy. Like, oh my gosh, we can never be together. I have no heart. I have no heart. I have a dark soul. Like, my heart is broken. Dude, come on. Can we just date? Like, come on. Like, come on. What do you mean you have no heart? Why are you taking care of me? Because the whole thing is that he's a nurse, right? Like, the cousin, like we said in season 1, he's a nurse. And so when he found this guy, it's when he was working at the university and like he would come into his clinic. He needed help getting patched up because doesn't matter, but like basically that's how they met. And like throughout their whole interaction, there's been multiple times where the cousin actually helps that guy out. And like it's just like, oh, he's hurt here, blah blah, and help him up, blah blah. So you do have a heart. So I don't understand what this whole thing of like, I have no heart, we can never be together. It's like, it's just not less emo stuff. You're so strong here, but you're so grown doing this now.
Honestly,
like I hate she's aged. You don't need for this. You just pick up the plan, get your in season 1, and now you're feeling like, oh, I've known so. I don't give, and I've said this before in prior episodes, but I give liberty. The younger you are,
the more liberty you get.
The more liberty you get, but like past a certain age, no. This is what are you doing? This is not so much. It's so wrong. Like I'm growing older, so I can reflect back on younger.
Exactly. Why? But you know what? Younger me was more emotional. Younger me was less rational. Me at my big age would think just that.
The same thing I did when I was younger.
You're stupid.
And when I'm older again, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna do the same thing I did in my early 20s. Like, but why is this guy? I think he was like past his 30s.
Yes.
watching the way you were gay. Hi. The baby, like an adorable baby, literally.
Literally, it's just
And like you can like to be together.
no scene where he like started crying, like holding those things up. No, I just wanted to be with you. You don't have to love me back. And I was like, oh my god, that's not him.
That's not him. He shouldn't be doing the angsty emo boy shit.
Like you know, at the big age,
dude, like,
big age.
God, I know you've been heartbroken before, but my God,
You're not a child.
you're not a child. I mean, you're the only one doing that nonsense. There's
Legit.
another side couple here, which is the best friends from season 1. Then season 2, they
eventually get together.
they didn't get engaged at the end of this.
They're not a couple of consequence. They're not general. There's
Nothing about they neither bring anything to the
They're
table.
not the here nor there. Yeah. They're not the here nor there. They're just like, they're there.
We need a side couple, so
Yeah. Another one.
Like,
Cause the cousin one.
I don't even know if they count as the side couples. They wasted our time when it's fucking season. And then it's a here and it's like this ambiguous. Will they not?
I think the extra episode was where we saw that now they in a better space than they were, but even then it's still not like we're 100% together. It's still like trust me.
You don't put yourself in season 1. You were old in season 1. You're still doing nonsense. Moving on from there. Where do we put season 2? I like season 2 better than that season 1.
Same. I actually do think so as well. Like season 2, do you know what my thing is though? I do like it personally better, but there's something I would change.
Is it the scene when he was drunk?
So there's this scene where Shide shows up at Shui's house because he's like desperate, of course, and
Because he's in love with the man.
he's in love with him. He doesn't know why he's being pushed back.
Yeah, because another thing is like he doesn't understand that at some point she tried to contact him and all that shit.
He
Really is clueless. Both of them, miscommunications is also a thing.
yeah.
They're both very clueless about what actually happened.
Because they never talk.
They never talked about it, so he doesn't understand why are you so mad at me.
He doesn't understand because he's like, I'm still so in love with you. Why will you not talk to me? You're abusing me. Like, you're berating me in front of everybody. I'm taking it. I don't know what to do. Like, it's a very heartbreaking scene. But my problem kicked in when Shide basically crossed the boundary into like sexual assault.
Yeah.
So that part, no, I would take that scene. Let me explain. Yes, like at some point she like was giving in,
Reciprocating.
but like for me, he didn't start off reciprocating. Like,
He was pushing him.
he was pushing him away, and then at some point she even like switched off, like mentally. No, it's just like
let's just leave it on that note of it. It was a no.
it doesn't know. That scene should have
Didn't convince me otherwise. We didn't need that.
We didn't need that scene. Not in the way that it happened.
Yeah.
We could have had a similar one, but not in the way that it happened. So, as a result, because I would change that one scene, that won't change anything else. I'll put it in very good.
Okay.
So it has to go lower than
That's just
the opposite of guilty.
Yeah, literally the inverse.
The inverse. So next one we have Beloved in House. I do. Be Loved in House. Actually,
I loved in house.
I mistyped it. Yes, Be Loved in House. I do.
Bro, you're gonna have to read this, love, because I can't. Like, I'm sorry, but the Chinese and Taiwanese names are the hardest for me to pronounce.
They actually are hard. I'm not very hard. 90% of the time, I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing
Because
it.
it's not like my my tongue is not made for it. Like, it really is not made for pronouncing these sounds.
Fair enough.
Gingerly, like I'm not made for it.
I'm pretty sure also my intonation is not great. But anyway, move on. Founded about 10 years ago, Say Studio is in danger of going bankrupt before Jin Yu Jen, a person who excels in management, appears and he becomes the new director. On the very first day of his directorship, the atmosphere of the studio changed completely when he enforces a single rule which prohibits romantic relationships and marriages between employees, and the violation of the rule resulted in a dismissal. To abolish the rule, the employees of Say Say Studio collude with a secret plan. Shilei, an employee, approaches Yujin to snoop for information about the love life of this domineering director. As a result of various encounters, he finds out that the tyrant director is still hurt from a past relationship and is suffering from loneliness. Knowing that he still possesses a heart, Shilei becomes curious about Yujin.
Perhaps she had a good early on where it was, if Japan is the land or the king misunderstandings, Taiwan would be the king of enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
I think that's facts, because we just spoke about We Best Love, which is an enemies to lovers.
Legit.
And now it's beloved.
Beloved in-house island.
In-house I do, which is another enemies to lovers.
Enemies to lovers. And also keep in mind in the past episode about the histories, we have multiple histories that are also enemies to lovers.
I don't suck up for enemies to lovers, but
when it's done well, not all the time.
Yeah. There's some cases here that we are going to discuss in later episodes to come. But yeah, when it's done well.
When it's done well, it's done really. It's amazing.
In this story in particular, right? So, like it's in the synopsis, there's a new boss in town, and the boss has like, he's heartbroken from his past,
so nobody gets to be
he's just be in love. So he imposes a whole rule of no dating, no marrying,
nothing, no couples. If you're in this office, you are not allowed to be a couple.
Which ensues. Can I just talk about this part because it's very minuscule? And I just want to get it out the way. It ensues the nonsense. There's a couple that is they're actually not married yet.
They were engaged,
right?
I think they got engaged on the day that he came in.
Yeah, they were engaged, and obviously whatever, and then this guy comes with this rule. This couple, instead of just honestly, like, because the thing is, it's not like this guy was enforcing the rule like at home or anything like that. And
it was only an office thing. Like,
and instead of this couple being like, "Oh, cool, we're just not going to be a couple at the office and we'll be married at home," this couple decides, "Okay, I guess we can't be together." Like, and it's like, what are you doing?
Dramatics of it all, like
so fucking dramatic. Like, if my husband pulled something like that is miserable, because at least the wife was willing to fight or some shit like that. The husband was just being depressed about it.
He was just like, "This is so miserable."
I think husband and wife, but they're not married yet. But
either way, it doesn't matter.
Same difference. But of course, we have to talk about our main couple. So obviously, what brings them, what brings the whole thing them together is that the office decides, okay, you are gonna find out information about him, see what we can do.
Yeah.
So then we get him to agree to. The plan was foolish, but it was BL. It's a BL, and in BLs, the most stupid of plans.
They don't have to really make sense.
They don't have to make sense. It's just the plot has to plot, and it
exactly.
Did. They were a very cute couple. More than life, they had a lot of cute moments.
Yeah,
a lot of sexual tension. Like, it was the kind where it was like, y'all need to go somewhere.
Like, y'all need to get a room.
Y'all need to get a room or what?
Like, what's going on here? Like, jeez.
Yeah, the chemistry is very good. Taiwan is very good at their chemistry. I would have to say in general.
Generally speaking, yeah.
Taiwan, I don't think they've ever failed in the chemistry department. Like, I don't know what it is that they do in the workshops.
I don't like that.
But whatever they do, they're doing it well. They're doing a thing, because you never feel any awkwardness or anything like. It's just well done. Some notable scenes is the mom coming to live with them, and she sussing out the situation. She was able to see that, okay, something's going on here. You guys keep outline. Yeah, like, you guys are eyeing each other across the fucking table. What else going on here? And at this point, they're not even dating. It's just that they both have feelings for each other, but they
won't admit them to each other. Sure,
yeah,
they have them.
They both have this attraction to one another and whatnot. And the mom is seeing that, and she has a conversation with her son, and it was a very sweet conversation, because she's just like,
just accept it. Is he good to you? If that's all that matters to me. If he's good to you and you're happy, I love it for you.
Made me very happy. And at that point, you'd think, oh my gosh, this drama has just ended.
No,
they're finally happy. They're cute. They're having their cute.
They're cute. Like episode 8, right?
Or 7 or something like that.
8.
7 or 8. They're toward the end.
So you look at like the rest of it. You're like, we have like 5 episodes.
And you're like, what is going to happen in this week? But
This is where the ship loses
so
lot.
I didn't mention our guy comes in and says no one's going to be in love because he was previously hopeless. What do we do but bring back his ex?
Of course.
Dude, I don't know. When we talk about unnecessary plots, unnecessary characters, unnecessary decisions, it was this. Why did we bring the ex back?
No one knows.
So basically, I'm with one of it. Like, it just pisses me off. Basically, the reason him and his ex broke up is because also Taiwan loves us too. The ex had to go to US, and so they broke up. And our guy got depressed. He was hospitalized. It was a lot. Like, there was a proper heartbreak.
Yeah.
And now the ex felt guilty about that, so he decided, big brain plan, I'm gonna come in, infiltrate their relationship, do some weird ass test where I'm breaking them up, making the other one endless. Like, I'm just doing a bunch of stuff unnecessary just to test if their relationship is like good enough, like to make sure that they're gonna be okay.
He basically took on this role of, oh, I broke him, so I also need to fix him. And it's like, he's already getting over you. It's not your job to fix
This is the episode 8.
that.
We'd done so much work by episode 8.
Yeah.
Moving on, that we didn't need you.
We didn't need you,
Why
guys.
were you here?
Why did you,
my God?
my God, coming in and be like, I'm going to be the hero that you didn't ask for. I didn't ask it for you because you were not necessary. Like,
I hated it. And there's 4 episodes of that. Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and a half. Okay, 12 and a half was not really here. And it's not like it's 1 episode, it's just about 5 fucking episodes of that guy. And I was like, no, we hate you. Let us be happy. I'm like, he's already eating without you. You don't have to. Like, it doesn't take you ruining their relationship for him to be like, oh, I think I like the guy. He already admitted to himself that he likes the guy. He was just slowly
getting to a point where he was going to learn how to be vulnerable, right? So, yes, he was still struggling to be vulnerable. Yes, he was still struggling to actually define the relationship, because even when he confronted him, like, I was like, hey, what is the status of our relationship? He still couldn't necessarily say it because he still was trying to like move on and learn and grow, right? But he was actually healing. Where do you get off to?
It was a useless character, useless plot point, useless decision in the boardroom of whoever was deciding the script.
He was not necessary.
No.
I don't understand why he was there.
It really peeved me.
But anyway, the side couple was so cute.
Super cute.
It was so cute.
Terrible. It was just cute.
So cute.
Like, they were the fluff you needed whenever shit was going down with it.
Data.
The main couple was always having issues, but like,
always having there was some things.
Yeah, some level of angst was going on there because whatever. So the side couple was just like that nice getaway. Yeah, and get to like be like, oh, that's cute, right? So yeah, the side couple was doing the most for us. We loved them.
The married couple didn't make sense.
The married couple should have just fucked off. Also, like, straight couples sometimes. They used to be the worst kind in these dramas. Like, and I don't know what it is.
I don't know what
them that way.
I don't know why, but like, you know what it feels like? Do you know what it feels like, right? You know how like a lot of like gay couples, right? A lot of these gay couples that like are written in VLs are written by women. Yeah. Right? It feels like the straight couples are written by gay men who don't know how straight couples function. That's how it feels like. I'm pretty sure a lot of these women are in relationships with men, right? Not all of them, of course. But like,
it's a shit ass relationship.
if that's y'all's relationship, that's y'all's straight. I don't want that.
God, you just leave it out. No. It's either just do it well or just leave it out.
Just leave it out. I don't understand why.
It's so stupid. But that being said, that's rancor. There's not a lot to say about
Not a lot to say about that.
Loved in House I Do.
Do you loved in House I Do?
I think she was just very good.
I think she was. I don't think it was.
It was the main. It was the ex. It was like 5 episodes with the ex. That was the main thing that I would change.
Yeah, like, you know, I just wanted to die or whatever.
Yeah, I would change the substance, but like I would change that thing. That was unnecessary.
That was unnecessary.
We could have ended the drama in episode 10.
Yeah,
and not as the ex at all.
that's true.
Or if it came, like they came to have like a conversation where there's like closure. Like, it's like, okay,
That's
let's have a
much.
conversation about the fact that happened. I'm sorry that I left you. I didn't mean to.
I don't mean to.
I don't want you to push away everyone in your life because you think they will leave you like I did.
Maybe like after they break up, the ex somehow gets in touch and he's like, hey, I just wanted to close our chapter. Or if you wanted to monitor him and keep tabs, maybe keep tabs and see if something's going wrong in the relationship. You don't have to insert yourself.
You don't insert yourself. Yeah. To keep losing character energy that was in the seat.
Like you could have literally just come in and were like, hey, I just wanted to offer you some closure. I hope that like my relationship with you does not affect the current relationship that you're in. I know that you're in a relationship. Like I still feel really guilty, so I just wanted to help you out a little bit.
That's literally what
That's all you needed to do.
Not the other nonsense he did. Like, that was just way too convoluted, and also could have easily gone so wrong where they
Like
it was so
what if they
yeah.
broke up and they just never got back together?
Yeah, because yeah, very good.
Very good it is. Because that's the thought point that we got to. Because why, guys? Anyway, so now we're moving on to the second category, industry call-outs. We're starting with Lovely Writer. I know currently there's also another big industry call-out that's happening. We're only going to be like evaluating that drama if you know which one I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. I'm just talking to the audience. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. We don't talk about it when it actually is fully released.
I know what you're talking about.
I know you know. But yeah, that's one. I think that's the first big industry call out. These ones aren't necessarily huge.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
These ones worked so that one could run 100. But we're starting off with the first industry call out that I think we watched, which was Lovely Writer.
So the synopsis goes as follows. Jean is a professional writer whose publisher suggests he writes a new genre. Why? The resulting novel is a huge commercial success, so successful in fact that it's been adapted for TV. When the series begins casting, Jean is invited to auditions where he can be consulted. He's not really concerned about the other authors until actors until he meets Nasib, who right from the start shows open admiration for Jean. Will Jean accept Nasib's love, or will it lead to question?
Can I just say something about this show that like was my favorite?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to also drop a little bit of like a fun fact in case you didn't know.
Is this for the audience or for me too? Again,
for the audience,
okay,
right? Because you know,
okay.
We've talked about this before, right?
All right.
But with Lovely Writer, my favorite part about it was them clowning my engineer.
My favorite. It was so obviously my engineer.
That's just being funny. Like
no other like you look at it, the plot,
the colors of the logo,
everything is my engineer, and I was like, oh my god.
This is where I'm dropping the fun fact. We're not gonna do this. This is where I'm dropping the fun fact. The guy who acts as Napsip Kao was almost in my engineer.
Man saved his career by not being there. Or something like that. I like my engineer somehow.
I don't know either. We'll talk about
when it comes to it. It's coming in the latter category. Yes, we have watched it.
We've watched it. You don't leave. But
That category.
But yeah, Kao, who plays Napsip, was almost in my engineer, and he was going to actually get paired with Saint. Like the best. If y'all don't believe me, y'all don't have to believe me. The photos are online. They are photos that they took of these two together. I don't know if they
what. Fuck, I was all about I was all about it in the cows because I was gonna say like I wonder if them acting in it would have made it better. But I think the plot is just trash.
It's just
I think it's not the actors, it's just the plot.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, anyway. So Kao was almost paired with Saint. Saint from Love by Chance from what is the other one? Why Are You? That Saint. They were almost in my engineer.
Cameo secret crush on you.
Legit. They were almost in it, but because my engineer had like quite a lot of like issues in terms of pre-production and company shifting,
kicking off the ground. It was
chaotic, but so they didn't end up actually acting in it. He went and did what was it? Until We Meet Again, and then Saint went and did Why Are You instead.
Which are dramas we also want to talk about in the future.
We're also going to talk about those later on. I'll rewatch them. But yeah, this is my little fun fact about Lovely Writer that it's hilarious. It's the best thing about the show.
It really is. Like, it's a fun time. It's so obvious. Like, it's like, oh my god.
They were legitimate. They weren't even trying to hide the fact, because even the show that it's that they say it is, like, inside the show, it's bad engineer.
Yeah.
Like,
It's very close to being like, yeah, we're talking about fucking my engineer.
legit. Like, they were making fun of it. But yeah,
outside of that, the drama, like we said, it's an industry call out. I mean, I don't know if that was its intention exactly or what the hell was going on, but it is an industry.
It is an industry call out.
At the end of the day, it's a BL. Obviously, there's a couple of these things going on, of course, but then they do highlight there's the certain
industry practices
that they don't mess with. One in particular being that, like, for example, the couples that are paired together, like, you know how there's all the fan service and all that stuff, like, the fans obviously ship these couples, but in real life, they may not necessarily be actually the couple. They might just be people.
Or even just getting along. Because,
yeah, they could just get along.
Because Napsip and his pair, they didn't get along. They were always fighting.
Yeah, literally. But because the production companies are trying to convey an image of them actually, like, oh, maybe they are, you know, like, kind of a thing, like, maybe they're real, like, yeah, because it sells, it sells, like, it sells the merch, it's the concert tickets, it's all that stuff.
Even when they were doing that thing where they were like, oh, what was this Napsip's pay? Oi? How do you say this? I don't even know. Bruce. The active name is Bruce, right? So I'm gonna call him Bruce. So even when, like, they were doing that, those moments with them, like, oh, Bruce, try to look smaller next to him.
Yeah,
the fans love that. Like, yo,
things like that they were calling out.
They were calling out all these toxic things, even like with the shippers, the people who are like having a ghost ship between Napsip and Jean,
and the writer,
who's the writer in Lovely Writer, and people who were having the ship between Napsip and his pair, like Bruce, still call Bruce, right? Like, people just, it was calling out so much bullshit.
Yeah, especially how involved, like, the head of the production companies, the people in charge of the whole production, getting involved in your actual personal life and being like, listen, you have to, I'm in a relationship with somebody else, but, like, they are saying to me, you have to break up with your partner because it's affecting sales, it's affecting.
So, I think it was funny, actually, but you bring that up. I went back to the chats that we had, like, when we watched it initially, because I still have them on my phone. Right?
When did we watch this? 2021?
We watched it, I think, in 2020. It was off take on my, because I got my phone in 2020. So I think it was in 2020. I'm not entirely sure. No, 2021. This came out in 2020.
Okay, so last year. Okay.
So last year, yeah. We watched this in 2021. I'm messing up my date.
Because I was like, okay.
But yeah, I went back to, like, the initial chat. This point where we were talking about how, you know how, like, they broke them up in the board meeting?
Yeah, they were like,
I don't know, like, they had a whole meeting, and
yeah, they were like, you guys can't be right in a relationship.
I mean, afterwards, after they broke up, after the whole press conference or whatever, and they were miserable apart from each other, like, you and I, like, I think, I don't know who I really forgot the text, but, like, one of us had said, oh, it was me, I sent it to you, and I was like, oh, what kind of bullshit are they trying to pull, saying that now everybody feels guilty for breaking them up? When I know they were not.
No one was feeling guilty.
No one was feeling guilty. Everybody was sitting there like, no, it's necessary. And you're going to be ruining each other's careers. You need to be doing this and that and third. And I'm like, no,
hey, like, what's going on here?
Bro.
They were that was trash. But that was the main industry call out. Like, basically, like, the manipulation of the actors in the background, having them force a certain image. Like,
not just that, but even them, the fans' role in that, because
also even to be called out for their bullshit.
Because even with, like, the main person who was in charge of, like, the production house in which Napsip was working under, when they would tell him things like, hey, in your next book, do this because the fans are fancied up. Yeah. Like, I need you to be more raunchy, which we know is a very real conversation that happens in BL watches, where they genuinely are always, like, sexualizing these characters. Like, so much to the point where we don't even talk about the substance of characters. We see them only for their sexual powers.
Yeah. And most popular of dramas is the ones where
The very sexual one.
very sexual ones, and then when we're talking about them, it's very popular ones. It, like you're saying, we don't really speak about
The actual
the
substance of the
yeah.
characters.
It's usually like, oh my gosh, they were so spicy.
Exactly.
Like we never really get into the
actual characters, the psychology behind the characters. So it was calling out these different behaviors and different patterns because Jean is gay, right? Jean himself is gay, like being gay, always going to be gay. So he was basically sitting there and talking to this production house like person and being like, yo, bro, you do know that this is not how gay people are in real life. Like, we're not always sexual, we're not always doing this, we're not always doing that. And they kept being like, no, you need to do it, you need to do it.
The fans love it.
The fans love it. And it's like, yes, call that shit out.
I was like,
Please. Because too many people be framing, like, I feel like is what I appreciated the most because of the fact that they basically were calling out how BL fans can sometimes contribute, no, not just take it too far, but like contribute to homophobic rhetoric, right? So it's like one of those things where it's like, you can be a BL fan and be supportive of the LGBTQ, right? But then if all the ways that you're framing these LGBTQ people is just through their sexual lens, you are also objectifying them.
yeah.
And not only that, you're perpetuating the stereotype of all they want to do is fuck off.
Yeah, like they just promiscuous.
They just promiscuous, there's nothing else in them. So it's like, the way that they did it, honestly, Lovely Writer walked so this one could run, the one that's coming up now.
Just about everyone else can run.
So everyone else can run who's doing an industry call out.
And like I said, I think overall they were even trying to, like they didn't have to.
They didn't have
already
to.
They had this other story of like Nupsip and Jean, which was going on in the back. Well, it actually wasn't happening in the background. It's the foreground. The background is the call out.
Yeah.
But they did, and they did it so well because I think it's so easy to fuck up, which we're going to speak about next. It's easy to fuck up sometimes trying to call out. You can see the intention was there. You can see that, okay, I can see what you're trying to do.
But you just messed it up. You missed the mark.
Why? What are you doing? And I think they did a very good job. Speaking about the couple themselves, Jean and Nupsip, cute couple, great communication, good chemistry. I just really liked a lot about them. In general, I liked a lot about them.
So cute.
They're just adorable.
Nupsip's consideration of Jean and how Jean operates.
Nupsip was so whooped for Jean, like, not do anything.
Like, Jean had Nupsip wrapped around his pinky finger and he didn't even know it.
He really didn't know.
He didn't know it until it was like way later, but like,
he was like, oh, you been liking me since childhood. They knew each other since childhood. I was like, since childhood, you've been whooped.
Literally.
Damn, I would have.
Because even when because initially Nupsip does lie to Jean about like the fact that, because Jean doesn't really remember Nupsip. He doesn't know what Nupsip looks like in his adulthood.
Yeah.
Right? So he doesn't know that this is the same child that was my neighbor, right? So even when Nupsip was like, yo, I'm so sorry for lying, he kind of doesn't feel like, bro, I am so sorry for lying. I was like hoping that I was doing this because I wanted to get close to you, but I didn't necessarily want to lie to you. I lied to you because of the fact that I wanted to get closer to you, and I was scared that you were going to feel some type of way. And I don't know.
I didn't want to get weirdo.
I didn't want to get weird. But I lied about knowing you, and I lied about my age, and I said I was older than I know, but I'm actually younger than you. It's because at first Nupsip tries to seem as if he's this cool adult person or whatever, and the more he's with Jean, though, the more you see that Nupsip actually has a childish type streak about him. He's a baby.
Yeah.
So his lies are more out of fear than they are about harm.
Yeah, it's no malice intent.
There's no mal intent, but I do like the fact that Jean still called him out. He was like, no. Don't ever do that to me ever again.
Don't come in here and...
I'm so sorry. It's like, I'm so sorry. Punish me if you have me. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I like them as a couple. Their communication was pretty good. I mean, obviously they had their times where they were not actually communicating, but that's just a BL drama. Dramas in general, there will be misunderstandings. But when they finally get together and they do talk, I love it because people are very clear. They put their emotions on the table and say X, Y, Z. Their biggest conflict was the whole thing of like the production company being like, y'all can't be together.
True.
Because you're going to be, the BL fans are not going to like it. It's money, all that stuff. So, you know, you guys can't be. That was their biggest conflict.
That was the biggest conflict.
Jean was like, okay, cool. That's what's going to happen. I'm not going to ruin your career. You're just starting off as an actor. I'm just a writer here. I agree. We're not going to do this. Nupsip was like, no, fuck that. You're my boyfriend. I'm not breaking up with you for this shit. I would rather quit everything. I would literally quit everything as long as I'm with you. And Jean's like, do not fucking do that shit. You're not quitting anything. You're going to finish this job.
You finish this job.
And then afterwards, maybe
we'll talk about it later.
But Gina's like, I mean, Nupsip was like, I don't want to talk about it after this job. I want to talk about it now. Like, I don't want to compromise our relationship in any way, even if it's temporary. I want to be with you. That was their biggest conflict.
That was their biggest conflict outside of the family. Because they also had the family conflict, honestly. The way that they handled it, I think
I forgot the family. In the family, there was the BL fans as well.
The mom.
Yeah, they were speaking about how like BL is like a big thing now.
Yeah,
like, BL, so you know, we also watch it too. Like, and
they're also treating like the gayness as if it's just a fictional case.
It's like, that's fantasy. Like,
it's a fantasy.
It's not real. Like, it's so interesting.
Exactly. Like, they're meant together, but like,
and then
can't be real though.
But then when it's now in front of them, it's like, oh, son's being gay. They're like, no. Hold the fuck on. Like, no ways. The dad was like, partner. Remember when we found out that the dad is actually bisexual? He's actually bisexual on the side, and we're like, oh, that's why you were so strong on it. But like, there was a lot of interest. Actually, that right had a lot going on.
It had a lot going on.
Died. Bruce, I also can't pronounce his actual name. Bruce's real name. He had a lot going on with himself.
Yeah,
like he was pretty selfish. Is the word I will use right now. And
he's selfish, but he was selfish, acting out of insecurity.
Yeah, because in his own family, validation. In his own family, like there's a lot of stuff going on there where he feels unwanted, unloved, unappreciated.
So it keeps like he's trying to like break Jean and Nupsip up, right? But he's trying to break them up out of wanting to keep Nupsip to himself, right? Because he
had a thing with Jean.
I know he had a thing with Jean, sure, right? But he wanted to keep Nupsip to himself in the public eye.
Yes, in the public eye. He wanted to continue this whole we ship and all that stuff.
The thing that the reason why he wanted Jean in the first place was because of the fact that he could see how caring Jean was towards Nupsip.
Yeah.
So he was like, I want that level of intimacy and validation for myself. And so I'm gonna break them up, get with Jean, publicly still be with Nupsip, and everything will work out perfectly for me because, you know, even though I'm insecure, like I'm gonna get what I want.
Yeah.
And it's like
main character shit,
bro. And it's just like it dealt with like so much. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I mean, like there's a lot of moving parts, and I honestly would say
it's 12 episodes, and each of the episodes are over an hour long.
Yeah.
So that's over 12 hours of content. There's a lot going on. We cannot touch on everything.
We can't touch on everything.
But I will tell you, this is quite an amazing drama.
Worth it.
Even the parts where it's like, like with the Bruce guy, you still like, yeah, I get it. Though. I get it. In the beginning, it was like, why are you here? Like, it was just, it seemed like a villain just for
yeah.
And that pissed me off. But like when you kind of go into meeting his family and everything, you're like, oh, okay, I see what's happening with you. I see where your thought process comes from. And I like that. And as a result, where will she go?
Actually, no, there's something I want to point out as well that I find really funny, right? The fact that, you know, when they were calling out the fact that all the openly, like, nobody can be a star if they're openly gay.
That's another thing.
Right?
Yeah.
The only cast member in Nightly Writer who was openly gay is Bruce.
He did not get a happy ending.
And he did not get a happy ending. So, like,
no.
That's the part of the story where I'm like, you guys, what?
Yeah.
That is bad.
You mentioned it in the cover just to do it yourself.
Exactly. What was that? But, yeah, outside of that, yeah, where do you rank her, actually?
Does that one hypocrisy make it rank lower?
But it's a hypocrisy. It doesn't have to actually do with the story.
So I suppose that if you don't, for example, if you don't know that backstory, like
if you don't know, same with like, if you did not watch like My Engineering, you watched Lovely Writer, you wouldn't necessarily like know the correlation there. So it's like,
then I think it's going to S+, like super superior,
right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's really much I would change. The only thing that like had me raising eyebrows was the whole dad being bisexual, because I was like, you got to say him be accept. I know, being bisexual.
And then
But yeah, that was like the
right.
But
That's very minuscule.
it's very minuscule. It's not really much of a big change or anything. So I think S plus is deserved in this case. I don't know, man. I'm getting flashbacks to like even when we were dealing with that whole situation of, oh, our families found out and we were both like, we're gonna fight for our love. I loved it. I loved it. I've been conceited. I loved it. Fuck. Y'all, we are in a relationship with two grown men. Literally, they were like, I think that the best part about it was the fact that they were like, okay, I will deal with my family, you deal with yours.
Yeah.
But we are still together. We're just together. Don't like
break.
We are not breaking. Like, we are not breaking. I'll fight for things on my side. You fight for things on your side. I love you, but like, I'll see you later.
Love to see it.
So cute. Yes. So next we have Call It What You Want. I don't think a lot of people know.
I don't think a lot of people know. It's very, very, very niche.
Mm.
Yeah. This is the story of a BL director, James, who has a secret on-set relationship with one of the actors. The series will explain, like, the name is F. I can't pronounce it, but I think it's F.
Let me see.
8.
8, I think. It was 8. It wasn't an 8.
My God.
It doesn't matter. It's
yeah. The series will explore the darker side of the entertainment industry and the pressures actors receive from talent agencies, revealing the corrupt BL industry that is indeed far from perfect.
So this one is where industry call out false flight.
They definitely put in the network. No, hold on though. We're on season 1.
That's true.
Season 1 at this point hasn't done anything wrong. They like laying the foundation. They're showing all the bad things. They're showing the actors that are being starved, in particular the top in this
in the drama,
the top in the he has to look like perfect, all chiseled and whatnot. So he's starving himself.
Quite literally only eating chicken breast, nothing else.
And man's is dying. Like
Vomiting all the time.
He's sick because he's not getting enough nutrition, enough sleep because he's stressed about other things. We'll get into it. It's talk. Like, there's just a lot of things. Like, let me try and remember what his name is.
Okay.
What man? Bas is his name.
Oh, Bas.
Yeah,
it was Bas.
So, and at the same time as well, in season 1, we see the story of this other actor called Capral, who was originally with this acting agency, who's not going around, but he's basically exposed some things that were happening in the background. Like, okay, this is what happened to me. I faced sexual assaults. I was sexually harassed here. I was treated poorly. I was made to do this and this. And it's like this ongoing case going on in the background. And the production company is obviously saying, no, that's not true. He's just a better actor.
Deflecting.
And all that stuff, like the standard stuff. So in season 1, a lot of it is like just showing us that this is what's happening. And we're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. And simultaneously, while they're doing these call-outs, it's obviously the BL. So there's a couple.
There's a romance, yeah. And let me just say, I care about this couple. I don't.
I really don't.
I personally do not care about this couple. I don't even mean it in a mean way.
Yeah, not in a mean way.
Like, if you watch it and you get attached to them, good on you. But like,
I was pretty much indifferent to them in season 1. Like, I was like, okay, you guys are a couple, but I was more interested in like what's actually the industry call out.
Exactly.
Like, in Lovely Writer, it was like both things. You're interested in the couple, and at the same time you're looking at the call out.
Because not just that, like the characters in Call It What You Want, right? They exist solely for the purpose of calling out the industry, but the characters don't really have anything interesting going on.
Very shallow.
So they're very shallow characters.
There's nothing going on. Surface level.
So even with the romance between,
they allude to depth. They allude to the fact that there's more to these characters,
but there's nothing.
There's like, especially the main two, that there's barely anything there.
No, because I'm laughing. I'm remembering the fact that at the beginning, the whole idea, episode 1 was the fact that this man was about to lose his entire livelihood. Right?
Yeah.
There's a reason. That's the only reason why he took on doing this
BL, because he was like, I need to get a job.
I'm about to lose my car,
my place to stay,
all the rest of the table. Exactly. I'm about to lose everything.
Even took the chick that the pay that he gets is not even a great pay. Like, it's a pretty mediocre pay.
Did I?
It was like, I remember like a whole thing when he was like, this is how much I'm going to be paying you or whatever. The guy was like, oh, for real? Like, it was clear that the amount wasn't a good amount. I'm not going to do any
I'm not going to actually
conversion.
How
much it actually is, but it clearly was not something worth, being a director for. But he needed the money because he was in a desperate situation. So what are you saying?
I don't know. We'll talk about how to. Okay, but
but what you call this? So yeah, that's where we're coming from. He comes in like, I'm desperate. I need this. I have no other option but to go with this, and that's where we start. But like, why do we forget that as we go along? Like, why was that just like a thing that we threw in, and then as we go along, it's like
we forget that this was the initial setup. Like, it's a main character. It's a main guy. Stop smattering at some point. It's like we set up the stakes.
Win the lottery.
Exactly. Like, we set up the stakes and then we don't care about the stakes later.
The stakes are so high. It was like everything every decision he made, he was like, I can't because I'm gonna lose this job and then at some point we forget that, and it's like,
because he stops caring. He himself stops caring.
But it's like, if you stop caring, then what were the stakes?
Exactly. Why did we mention them? Why did we set up these stakes in the first place?
That diminishes the couple, because that whole thing is right in the beginning. So they start dating, right? They have an attraction to one another and start dating. But we gotta be secret, we gotta be, because I can't lose my job. It's very important to me. Why do we
stop caring at some point?
Why do we just not give a fuck?
He doesn't give a fuck. Also, I think the couple,
the partner doesn't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck anymore.
Do you know what my thing is as well, right? The reason why it kind of takes away from the couple, right, is the fact that with 8, right, 8 himself, you would think that because he's in love with James, right, he would be prioritizing James's livelihood. 8 gives no fucks.
0. 8 gave no fucks. He was like, dude, let's just date.
Let's just date.
And I was like, no, hold on. If they just finish me dating you,
I'm going to start job. Exactly. And 8 knows that James is about to lose his car. 8 knows that all of this is happening, but 8 gives no fucks. Like, 8 is not prioritizing James and 8. So to me, then now it becomes like, he doesn't even care about you.
What is this relationship?
What is this relationship? Because you would think that if I genuinely cared about somebody at our big ages, I know what bills are. I know what they're all exactly. So like, I'm not gonna risk your livelihood just because I want to be with you.
Because H is rich or some shit or something like that. H is fine. H is fine and how?
The problem here is with. He's like, bro, he didn't even like have a moment where he was like, oh, I will take care of you.
Yeah, he didn't even like that. He was just like, you make a plan. You make a plan.
I'm so tired. I'm so like,
especially like, you'll make a plan. Like, worst case scenario, you'll make a plan. Come on, baby.
Anyway, let's rank up.
Yeah, please rank us.
Okay, so where do we put her?
Dude, like, either mediocre at best or I think mediocre at best. Let me see. What is C tier? Something that will shift her mediocre at best. She tried.
They did try, because they did set out to do what they wanted to do in terms of like calling out the industry and industry practices.
Yeah,
because they talked about the sexual assaults that happened. They talked about all these like really bad things that go on within the industry that a lot of people don't necessarily want to talk about, and they kind of sweep underneath the rug. So yeah, mediocre at best, because they did try, but it fell flat on so many different levels. Like,
so many mediocre. I'm sorry,
mediocre at best. Probably gone.
Touch Up is too good. Mediocre.
Yeah.
Season 2, let's get it. The synopsis is: last season had James and 8 considering dating. They have taken the plunge, keeping it a secret from management and fans. As Marco and Bass found out that happened at the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a season 1 or season 2?
it happened at the end of season 1, where I think that's when he broke down on the couch.
It's the most important part. I'm about to put it on do not recommend. Shush. Listen. So there's a main couple. There's another character called Bas in the story, and
in
the trauma here.
the acting of 8.
And in the story, he is going through the most. Like, he's starving himself, and also he is being sexually harassed and assaulted by the manager of the production company, right? The head producer or whatever. So he's obviously very depressed. Guys, please. He's hold on. Oh my God. So he's very depressed and he's going through a lot. Somehow people are glossing over this, like they mention it a little bit, but like people don't give a fuck about this guy. Like, it's just like
You have to even like even naming it as a sheet for you.
Yeah.
Like how sick he was, right? So Bus, like they would be in the middle of a workshop and they were about to do a kiss scene. Bus would like feel like he wants to throw up and like run off, right? This is in a room full of stylist, full of production team members, people.
Think of a whole production team. Everyone is there.
Like exactly, no one was like literally everybody will be like, oh, there he is, Robinson.
No fucks given. But this person, he's like, and he looked sick. He looked
Bad, pale, that's like he's gonna die. Like nobody cares. Nobody cares.
not even some fans.
It's like my time like such horrible laughing about it.
It's not funny, but it's hilarious how the trauma.
It's just gave no even honestly with the fact that I can understand because they don't see the shit. The fact that thing is such a I hate it as like the fans don't see him throwing up 24/7, right? So but everybody on the production
taking this aesthetic way with this people.
But nobody in the production team would try to take in on him. So anyway, right. So the guy was like in charge. I'm sorry. The guy who's in charge of the company, like the production head, right? So he ends up like putting like one day at night he's with Barcelona.
It's not the detail.
He he just sexually assaulted basically. He sexually assaulted him. So Bus ends up sitting on the couch. Last episode, he finally breaks down and he tells like 8 and James and also Marco, right? Like who's James's friend? James's friend and roommate, right? So no, they're not roommates. Yeah, just friends. So he tells them while sitting on the couch, like, yo, it breaks down, like stuff like
That's really inside. Like he breaks down everything basically. He's like, this is what happened to me and I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to.
Like I don't want to tell my family because it's gonna worry them. I don't want to lose my career. I want to get further. So I want to basic moment in the It's a big moment, right? Do you know what happens after like Marco and what's his face Bus leaves? 8 and James, not even 10 minutes after these people leave, proceed to have sex on the same couch where his friend sat and broke down.
Guys, oh, in case you didn't know, no, it's just not something to do.
I was in so much shock the first time I watched.
I'm like, how are you guys going to do this now? Like, I don't understand. Your friend just told you 10 minutes ago on this very couch. Like, that's such a structure. How are y'all guys horny enough to fuck here? I understand. Like, I would be like,
I would still be thinking about how my friend is going through all of this.
after the friend, if they spoke briefly about it, like they were like, "Oh, that's crazy that happened to him." Only for them to start their own. Like, it trash. Oh my god, I hated that. Do not recommend. I'm sorry. The premise is there. Execution though.
Yeah, you're not going right. That moment is taking it down.
And I thought that was season 2. No, and season 1. Yo, okay, let's rope to season 2, please. Oh, I already mentioned this. Okay, so now we're in season 2. They're dating. Everything is out on the table. God, season 2 is basically like, I don't know, all the shenanigans, but now we're trying to resolve it right now. We're trying to find a way to bring justice for Bas.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're trying to, like, like I said, the couple is dating, but they're keeping it a secret, but they don't want to keep it a secret. Like, they want to come out.
They're not that sneaky, to be entirely honest.
Honestly. How do you have, they were caught by
so many people, everybody in the production team basically.
And that's what we're like, oh, James, you don't care about your life.
The stakes that you set up don't matter.
Fuck, because and the boss found out and he was like, fine, I'm gonna cut your pay.
Yeah.
And James was like, well, I guess. I don't know what has happened.
I'm totally open.
In season 1 and season 2.
Bro.
Essentially, what? Okay, so I'm not even gonna get into the things that happen in this drama. Just know that Bas is slowly getting better because of Marco. Slowly but surely.
Marco is amazing.
Marco is
the best character out of everyone.
Yeah, because Bas's friend is supposed to be 8, but 8 gives no fucks.
8 doesn't care
in his relationship. Like 8 is like, I'm gonna go meet up with James now.
Exactly. That's 8 is all up in his relationship. Marco is incredible. He's acting as like an armchair psychologist for this man.
He shows how understanding,
exactly,
selfless.
Even when like he's like joking around about things, he jokes with him. He's just amazing. He's
amazing. So that's what's happening with them. The main couple is coupling, I guess, gonna come out cool. They hatched this entire elaborate plan to expose the production company and the production.
Yeah.
And the main expose is going to be like, okay, I'm exposing that you sexually assaulted so-and-so and that we are actually in a relationship and you forced us to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be something amazing. I would have loved it. Except
instead, except the fact that they centered the whole part of them not being allowed to be in a relationship over the flippant sexual assault and the food abuse.
Literally, Mans was like being abused in all aspects of like mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and like that was verbal abuse. It was just secondhand. It was just like, oh yeah, Bas was also going through those things that he did. That was that. It was like, oh, by the way, Bas was wrong.
But it's like, oh, but we weren't allowed to have a relationship. To keep it secret. People inviting so much.
Bas was saying like, what? That's what you did on stage. Bas was at the back, bro, smiling, and it's like,
that shouldn't been the one who was on stage telling his story. It should have been about Bas. It should have been about us. It should have been about, look at the shitty production head who literally committed a crime. But instead, it was like, no, let's center the fact that we couldn't be in a relationship. It's so sad. This is industry call I gone wrong on so many, like, gone wrong.
I'm gonna rank it now. I didn't want to talk that much. Very stupid. I don't recommend it at all. It's either going to trash or do not recommend. Those are the 2 categories that might go into.
I think no. The thing is, the reason why I would want to
recommend,
I don't want to rank it at the same level as season 1. Let me explain why. The story of Marco and Bas.
No, but
that for me, right, is the thing ahead.
I think the story of Marco and Bas is what puts it at the same level as Cody Watch. Without that, it would be trash. I'm saying without Marco and Bas, it would be trash, because what is the point of the season if you guys want to do that? But they had Marco and Bas. Like, I don't think it's mediocre at best. I'm sorry, like, C tier. Something that will shift her completely must change. She tried though. I don't think they even tried. Marco and Bas was definitely the best part of it, and I really appreciated that. It was well needed. Even like them not even dating immediately. They were clearly the side couple, but they didn't date.
They didn't date immediately. They was pacing it around Bas's trauma.
Because he needed
Perhaps just
he went through a lot. So I love that. I do want to put them at I would love to put them at mediocre. But like my God, that ending is so horrendous.
That's true. I think. Did we even read the premise of season 2? I don't think
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kicking what would start like it's like last
Season
That's why
yeah.
I remembered that. Oh shit, they actually were dating.
So, yeah, not a lot of people watch. I'm seeing a number of watching the fake office. Isn't that watch it? But
fuck is PT?
I don't know.
Because there's a whole as Marco's basket closer, PT finds a way to come between them once again.
Isn't it the guy who sexually assaulted Bus?
Oh, that's his name.
That's his name.
Oh shit! All right.
So
What the fuck is that?
yeah, it is him. See.
Okay, yeah, it's him. Okay, so oh my God, and they even tried to give him an arc. They tried to give the mother. The mom was like, hospital. She was suddenly assaulting people. What does that have to do with your mom being sick?
The thing,
Where does that come in?
I think they tried to give him an arc and then they immediately took it away because they were like, apparently it seems like he might be lying about it or something.
Yes, it was the thing that his mom. Yeah, that's the thing. But okay, I said do not recommend.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Do not recommend. Let's go. Like this is shenanigans.
I mean, all the other bullshit that goes on.
So much bullshit.
Anyway, so I guess that's the 4th episode.
Concludes the 4th episode.
It concludes the 4th episode. With a crappy show that we would not recommend. Oh, by the way, my reaction earlier.
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing that apparently there's a Call It What You Want 2022 version.
No,
I'm not playing. Seriously, it's on my drawer list.
well, that's a no for me.
Apparently, no. Apparently, though, I don't think they reshot the thing. I think they just added in because they like the story of BL director James who has a secret on-set romance with the actors, right? And then it says all that, and then by the very end of the description, it says new scenes are added and older ones are re-edited.
Okay.
So I'm not in
Change the fucking plot. That's what needs to be changed.
This version also got an 18+ rating, so this one is more explicit.
I can imagine there was sexual assault in the previous one, and then the couple fucked on the couch when the person
That
told
is
that.
true.
So like, you know what? Listen, maybe we'll give it a watch for the culture, but I don't imagine it getting in.
I don't imagine it getting better, but it's from the way that they're making the scene, it seems like they are like new scenes. So I don't know how much they changed it. I'm pretty sure they didn't really change it much, but yeah, I guess that concludes the 4th episode.
Mm-hmm. That was a very I ended on a very angry note.
Yeah. you still look pissed.
I do. But I think we historically ended on angry notes. Like I don't know, the drums at the end typically are the ones where I'm like,
why did we sit down this
because history close to you also pissed me off at the end.
Yeah, no, we have a pattern, I think. But you're just ending on a bad note.
We end on a bad note, but it's fine. There's some fun in between.
Exactly.
You can listen to our podcast on YouTube, Spotify,
Amazon, music. We're not on Apple though.
We're not on Apple. No. We're not on Apple Music. You can also check us out on TikTok, on Twitter.
Those are the main platforms I would recommend if you want to get in touch. You can do that. But we also have our YouTube channel where we post these as well. So if you want to leave a comment below, that's also a really good way to get in touch, I guess.
Just leave a comment anyway.
Leave a comment anyway where you can.
And we'll see it and we probably engage with it and see, like, you know,
Strong maybe.
Strong maybe we'll engage.
Most likely.
Like if it's like, fuck you, bitches.
We know it.
We know it.
Gonna look at you, like,
cool. But if it's like, you know what, you have a valid opinion to give, like you think it should be higher because of X, Y, and Z, like that's something we might engage
We
with.
might engage with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that concludes our 4th episode. So bye.